physics really help me with the sort of space-time sort of theme?
Yes.
Yes, it would. If you sit down and do the maths, right, before you cast your space time, whatever magic is that you're doing, you can reduce the difficulty of your magic. Um,
Okay.
so mundane things that you do can help. Yes.
Okay. I was thinking like there might be. Yeah, I was thinking about maybe doing like I think it was hyper mathematics. Oh wait, no, it's not that one.
I think physics would open up the possibilities of what you can do.
Yeah, but I'm just. Where was it? There was
Like, if you know
one
you
type
can...
of science. Yeah, but there was one type of science that was like um the study of like other worlds and stuff, like the other planes.
cosmology.
Yeah, that wasn't a science. That was a science.
Right, I thought I saw something like it in science list though. Oh well, whatever.
Yeah. That's other planes. Like,
Yeah, I'm definitely getting that.
yeah. For those of you that have finished putting in your points and abilities, on page 303 is the start of a section called Background Traits. You get to choose some traits and put up to 7 points. And one thing that I would suggest is that everyone should probably have at least 1 point in the avatar background. Because with one level in Avatar, and then use Quintessence, which is a little bit important. It's one of those things, in Mouse Guard, we were doing Fate and Persona points. In this, Quintessence and Willpower sort of help you reduce the difficulty of rolls and things like that. Every mage has Willpower and can spend it and whatever, but Quintessence is only available to you if you have the avatar background. So you can have a look through all of the backgrounds and put in 7 points. But yeah, I would really suggest that everybody gets at least that one. Also, something that you may want to discuss with backgrounds is Fortree, a common place that you all go to, or maybe some of you live there or something like that, where you've set up some magical and mundane defenses. Sleepers tend to avoid it, and technocrats find it hard to find them, and things like that. And if you can all choose to put Chantry for all of you if that do.
You keep cutting out on a few words are saying for me.
Yeah, I'm getting that too.
Yeah.
Sorry. I mean, I don't.
Maybe you're
think there's anything
downloading
I can-
something at the moment.
No, I'm not. Or maybe Beth
Maybe
is.
Beth's watching Netflix.
Yes, she probably is actually.
Rip. You don't gift. So what are we doing next after we chose our stats? Just choosing something in the spheres? Or...
Backgrounds.
Backgrounds, yes. They start on 303. Yeah, and like I said before, I recommend that you take Avatar 1 at least. And you might want to consider all of you talking about putting points into Chantry to get your own safe haven.
How many
How do we-
points do we get?
You get 7 in total to put in backgrounds.
Okay.
How do we add it? Because I'm in the thing where I go add, and it's like name, description.
You have to
So-
write in there.
Don't worry about that. Go down to the bottom under the advantages section. It's got backgrounds on the left hand side.
Okay.
Point thing. Yeah, put them in there. You can talk about in that backgrounds tab. You can talk specific what what they each of them are. Like if you take Chantry, you can put where the Chantry is and what exactly it is.
So Avatar 1, you said, right?
Yeah, I would suggest getting Avatar 1. So you do use Quintessence. Which is,
So,
yeah.
all pages backgrounds. Where do we find that?
303 is the start of them. And then just go through. So Avatar is on 305. And some of them have
there a
some of the
limit?
backgrounds. 7 points.
No, as in like, can we only put 3 in one, or can we put up to 5?
Let me have a look. Doesn't appear to be.
Some of these get pretty crazy.
Yeah. Some of them have 2 names. Like for example, Avatar has Avatar/Genius. The first one is the name that the traditions give it, and the second one is the name that the technocracy use.
That's really cool that they use Genius.
Everyone's lagging. My thing's fine. Connection.
Yeah.
I wonder if Discord struggles with so many people in chat.
It's not really. I don't think that's the issue. It's like I've been into a massive chat. And it doesn't lag or anything.
Maybe you're downloading something.
Oh,
Good to hear any of that.
What's
yeah,
that?
you are super robot. The coolest one I find is Arcane, which is like being unnoticed wherever you go. Like,
That's the one I'm getting.
like you in when cameras catch you, they're like you're like blurred out in the you know,
Straight 5 points for me.
if you do something if you do something like some magic in the street or whatever, people asking questions later, they'll be like, there was like a guy maybe, you know, and they can't really remember what he looks like and stuff like that. You know, that's Arcane, just sort of makes you there's like something erasing your trace no matter where you go.
Can that be done at
So how
will?
many?
What do you mean at will?
As in, like, it only really takes effect when you want it to?
It takes effect with like public things, like people that know you aren't affected by it, and you know, you can do obvious things to make yourself obvious. In general, like, yeah, you blend into crowds and nobody can recall you. Like records of you sort of seem to get appear, or pictures and videos and stuff of you are like not very clear and stuff like that.
Okay.
How many points can we distribute
7
for
points.
this? 7 points. Right, so I'm down to 6.
I got a spare point that I can put towards Chantry.
Six. What's left?
Mason, you might want to look at familiar or companion.
Oh yeah, is that down below a bit more?
Yeah, they're in alphabetical order, so familiar is one of the things. but yeah, the technocracy specifically. Some of them have AIs and things like that, and the virtual adepts have only like recently split off from the technocracy. So there's this like internal conflict where some mages don't trust virtual adepts and things like that, but generally they're okay with them. And but yeah, so a lot of the trappings of the technocracy is sort of present in the virtual adepts.
Some of my stuff would be database, probably, wouldn't it? Reading like the things I got. Probably database.
Yeah, you could have and like a data beast or uh I'm sure there was one that was like personal AIs.
I think that's like cult, is it?
Oh what?
Oh wait, maybe not cult. Where was it?
You're lagging so
There was one where you could like call upon allies or something.
Oh yeah, allies is the early one. By the way, if you want to still have much to do with your mentor, you should take. Also, if you have a lot of prime, or you're particularly interested in harvesting quintessence, you might want to have a look at the node background. Node will allow you to harvest quintessence because you have access to a magical node.
What's quintessence again?
Quintessence is sort of like magical lubricant. It makes magic easier to do. It also is a little bit power source as well. It's like magic incarnate, basically. Yeah, some like raw magic.
Okay.
What's this familiar companion?
Do we get the opportunity to increase our background at a later point?
Yes. At the end of each session, you'll get some experience. There is an experience table on page 253, which tells you how much it costs to boost your ratings. You can also get new abilities and new spheres this way as well.
How do we use Avatar/Genius? That's from what I read. Like, it's to do with quintessence, and quintessence is something that's to do with familiars as well for me. So, what I want more depending on the level of my.
What page is
I-
familiars on? Because I'm pretty sure, yeah.
It's just
with
a little bit
familiar,
below. They absorb.
Still, what page is it?
I'm scrolling down. 315. Oh, 314. But
Okay.
technically, it says on 315 on there.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that familiars, they consume a certain quintessence per like week. But they can all, if you have a familiar, it can absorb some of your paradox, which is really a cool thing to do. So, it consumes. You need to give it a number of quintessence per week equal to the number of dots you have. So if you have 3 dots in, then they consume 3 quintessence per week. But they can consume 5 times that amount of paradox per week. So, if you wanna do a lot of Vulgar magic, it's really handy.
Damn, yeah, that definitely will help me a lot.
Yeah. Thing is, quintessence, unless you have either a node or a good chantry, quintessence is something that it'll be hard for you to come across.
Yeah, but that's what I'm wondering about the Avatar's Genius, because
Yeah.
it mentions like about.
Were there any
Plus
other of those in the
distance.
backgrounds apart from Arcane that you told me to get, Squid?
Sorry.
Is there any other in the backgrounds apart from Arcane that you told me to get before? It was just Arcane, really.
I can't remember.
Heck is it?
Yeah, no, I can't remember. Sorry, Lano, you might want
Pretty
to have
sure
a
it was just
look
Arcane.
through them. If you've like read more of the book in the next week and you want to change a few things, like, contact me and we'll sort it out. But yeah, and that goes for everyone, obviously. So
So,
one dot in Avatar allows absorb or expend 1 point of quintessence at a time. Alright, absorb or expend. Okay, so when you have an avatar, say for example, if you have 2 points in it, you have 2 absorbed points of quintessence, and if you go and like meditate somewhere for a little while, you can get those 2 points back. If you ever want to get higher than 2 points, though, you'll need to visit a node, which your chantry might have a node in it, or something like that, right? So
it says genius as well, so I'm wondering if that actually means like I don't have to like just use an avatar. It could be
well,
with technology or whatever.
yeah, genius is the word that the
It's
technocracy use.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
well, the virtual adepts I think also use it as well, and they also call the current sphere, they call it dark as well. So, but you,
So they're rechargeable points in use.
yeah,
If I,
basically,
like,
and
something.
yeah, if you wanna, you're about to do a magical thing that is like super difficult. You can spend some points of quintessence to make it easier. And the more points you have in Avatar, the more points you can spend.
So for me, since I'm doing the whole data thing, it could be like when I do the whole recharge thing, instead of say I'm doing a meditating thing, I'm writing up a code to update the AI or something like that, and that's narratively how it would work for me, since it's genius, not avatar, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah.
So I'll probably be putting 4 in familiar and 3 in avatar. Genius, I'll call it.
You might want to watch out with that if you're going to put 4 familiar and 3 in genius, because if you put 4 in familiar, you need to feed it 4 quintessence every week, and you might not have access to 4 quintessence.
Don't know if it said it was 4. I was reading. I thought it was 3, 4. Let's get back down. Flipping heck, so hard.
So
to find.
yeah, unless you have a node or a chantry,
Yeah, node, I imagine.
node I think is the that you want.
Heck, so hard to find.
But yeah, did anybody have like spare points to pull together for a chantry?
I'll have the one chantry.
So wait, how many points do we actually get?
Ooh,
Use?
You get 7.
Okay.
Okay, so that is 4 points of quintessence. I'll probably go with 3 then. 3 and 3 on each.
No one else on chantry one of it.
Well, yeah, it's something for you.
Maybe we build a chantry once we've sort of established characters a bit more. Sort of later in the game.
Go on in node, probably.
Yeah, you will need a node. I reckon.
Three on each. I'll just go 4 genius and 3 familiar. That way I'll have 1 extra point if I ever need to do something crazy.
Yeah.
So I add the quintessences somehow?
You will start with quintessence, I guess, equal to the amount of points you have in Avatar.
Or genius.
Yeah, if you want. And if somebody has prime magic, they can steal quintessence from other people, which is pretty cool. You can also do things like sacrifice animals or people to gather their quintessence as well. There's other ways you can get it, but they're a little bit more. They're a little bit more
Crazy.
evil.
Yeah.
if you don't use a node.
Maybe I would hack into people's computers and like, take, I don't know, data.
Yeah, that's right.